STEM education. STEM. And what that means is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The style of education, the model, the curriculum, the content, if you like, is changing. And in the 21st century, we have been presented with challenges in the society caused by the advancement of humanity, and those challenges can only be solved by education. I have said it several times that education will solve many problems. Most of the problems we are facing in the society could easily be solved if we use a very good approach to our educational system. So I'll be appealing to policymakers and politicians and government budgetary officers to put more money into education. It has been canvassed for a long time that there's a minimum benchmark of how much you're to spend on education. A lot of countries, especially the developing countries, are not following this minimum standard because what they think is what is difficult for them is they rather prefer to put the money on other things than to put it on education. But that's not going to solve the larger society problem. The problem of terrorism, religious crisis, etc., can easily be stopped by putting in more money into education. People will not spend a lot of money educating themselves and their children and wasting such education. Now, besides that, we all know that a well-educated society will bring in unity, harmony, and peace. We have reviewed the metamorphosis in management education from the foundation of small businesses to large corporations all over the world. We have looked on this platform at strategic management, at total quality management, at management by objectives, and so on and so forth. We have looked into how human beings are changing and what will make them to adjust to the new change in the environment. We have looked into climate change and we have looked into Millennium Development Goals. We have looked into Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 of them, and how to achieve them, and the role everybody must play. In all of this, education will play a key role in reversing the problem in the climate change. We also know that we need management to manage the ever difficult human beings that are in different parts of the world. We are also aware that we need to manage the land we have in the world. We have said it that more than 70% of the earth is water. And what that means that the remaining part of the earth must be managed by human beings. And that is where we live in. The animals live, the trees are there, and we cultivate our food. So, environmental problem is a big issue. We cannot take human beings away from the planet Earth for now. that is the only habitable planet out of all the planets. It means that we must change our attitude to living if we are to survive here. I've had a lot of debate with middle-aged and elderly people. Some of them care less about what happened to the future of the world. That is unfair. If the generation that developed to this level didn't sustain living on planet Earth, then there will be a problem now for people living here. And already we are having massive problems. Environmental degradation, and repeatedly the ozone layer is being depleted and is affecting life on the land. Much heat, much flooding, and that will lead to uncomfortable living and difficult cultivation of food in some parts of the world now. Because we have no choice and we have been given the opportunity of managing it, then we have to resolve to how to achieve it. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education will help us to a very large extent. But everybody is running away from science, engineering, technology, and mathematics education. And the foundation of most science subjects is mathematics. Wise governments and people are putting a lot of resources into mathematics. The language we speak is very important, but the language of figure is universal. The language of technology is universal. That is why you can produce an electronic in any part of the world and it will work in all parts of the world. So the world must be speaking the same language to move the world forward, especially in managing our environment. It means that career counselors and government policymakers must ensure that we have a solid science background for our children from primary school. Now, if you don't put in more money into sciences, you cannot get good teachers. And part of the problems in developing countries is that we are not training good teachers to man our science and tech. When the foundation is faulty, what can anybody do? Nothing. So there should be reversal. And it's very easy. People can plug into this and understand it if they are given a good foundation. But if they are not, then it's difficult to bend an iron that is already hot, that is already cold. So if you put in more money into science education, it will enhance STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. And I believe that it's very easy for us to manage other aspects of human development once we get this right, either management of humanity, either accounting or business, etc. Benefits of STEM. Number one, it improves creativity, thinking outside the box. Number two, it increases team collaboration. Number three, develop communication skills. 4, empowers critical thinking. 5, boosts curiosity. 6, improves cognitive skills. 7, you should introduce STEM career at early ages. 8, teaches how to take initiative. 9, enhances media literacy. 10, boosts social emotional learning, and several more. So why don't we work to put in more effort into STEM education at school level, at government level, at family level and individual level to help our ever-needing world. Thank you. If you have not subscribed to this channel, do so, like and share.